So what actually happened was that I saw them. They were having this sex together. So I could
In
not.
the house?
Yes, in that house. When that my uncle is not around, the one that came from prison. So when that one is not around, he practiced me with it. Yeah. So you see, this is how it all started. The thing ruled me to the extent I was practicing it with my fellow children then. Yeah, we were all doing it. The landlord had a little girl that was around my age then, so we were actually doing it together. Yeah, I was sitting at the sitting room like this, sitting down. So somebody came to cover my eye from behind. Sometimes you try to check who that person is. So I mistakenly touched her breast.
There was never a time she got pregnant or anything.
No, there was never a time she got pregnant. My pull out was 100%.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tell Them Story, where we share inspiring, captivating, and motivational stories through personal and true life experiences. Today, we will be having someone on set who went through sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is something that most ladies experience, but what happens when it's a guy? Join me as we listen to David. David, good morning. How are you doing? Welcome. And I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you very
We're
much.
so excited to have you here. I've not heard your story, and I believe so many of us out there want to hear your story.
It's okay.
So, can you firstly start? I have an idea that, okay, yes, you were sexually harassed at some point in your life.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so can you tell me, like,
Okay.
what happened? How did it start? The background of everything.
Okay. I was 11 months old when I lost to my mom.
Wow.
Though my mom was very healed then, according to the story that
She was
was told.
very.
Healed, like she was very sick then.
Oh.
So I lost my mom 1999 actually. Growing up was not really easy. This kind of child was not properly taken care of.
How about your dad?
My dad, they told me that my dad didn't care about me. Yes, they said my dad didn't care about me because my dad and my mom actually had issue then. Because my mom was kind of a bit rich than my dad. I
Mm.
believe that actually brought a lot of misunderstanding between two of them. Then, so I was told my dad didn't care about me. None of that. I actually grew up with my grandma. I grew up with my grandma. Life was not easy. Even there was a time my grandma was even tired because due to my own illness, they were not like, Abi, my mom will come carry, that kind of story.
Ah.
So they were all saying all manner of things. Then my grandma became so tired. There was this one of our neighbor then. The woman was so nice. Oh, I call her Mama Riche. That woman took me in, breastfeeded me, and yeah, she took care of me. Though we were neighbor, though I was still staying with my grandma. So growing up was not really easy. My mom had siblings, so there was this favorite. Then they said it was my mom's favorite among the siblings, Uncle Richard. So Uncle Richard had about 4 or 5 kids. So the eldest one was a girl. Her name was Richie. She was 10 years older than me. These are all my story started. She was 10 years older than me. We normally go there for a visit, especially holiday time. My grandma was okay. Let's go and visit your uncle. I noticed something. I noticed something actually there. Then this sexual assault of a thing all started when one of my uncle came from the prison. One of my uncle too. And one of my uncle, the one came from prison.
Not the Uncle
No, no,
Richard.
not the Uncle Richard.
That's the one you want to stay with.
Yes, I was actually no, I was not staying with Uncle Richard. We normally go there for holiday time after school.
Okay, after school, you
Oh
go there for
yes, I
holidays.
go there for holiday.
Okay.
So there's this one of my uncle that came out from prison. She was not staying with my
Uncle
uncle Richard, like
Richard.
staying with his own elder brother.
Okay.
So there was this sexual assault that was going between that my uncle with his own brother's daughter, which is Victory. Yeah,
How old were you when everything, all this, when you went to your
around
uncle's
8 years old.
place? 8 years old.
Yeah.
And how was the man, the uncle that came from the prison? Like, how old did you think he was at the time?
Then my uncle was around. My uncle should be at least 30, should be around 40 if I'm not mistaken, or
Around
30 something,
why the
30 something,
lady was
around
10 years
20,
older. Let's say she was
or
18,
13, like let me say 13 years older, yeah.
13 years. So
Yes,
let's say
okay.
we're talking about 20.
Like that man, no, like that my uncle's
We're
daughter, that
talking
my
about
cousin
21 years
was
old.
around 13. And that my uncle that came from prison should be around 30 something, where I was 8
Okay,
years
like
old.
she was like 13 years
Yeah,
old.
13 years old.
Okay, not
Okay.
13 years older than you
No.
because you said you were 8 years old.
Yes. So what actually happened was that I saw them, they were having this sex together. So I could
In
not,
the house?
yes, in that house. So the thing was going on between them. I could not tell anybody. So I believe when that my uncle is not around, the one that came from prison. So when that one is not around, he practiced me with it. Yeah. So you see, this is how it all started. That girl was, let me say, she was sexually abused too by my uncle that came from prison. So
Okay.
she was normally, she was, I believe she was having the urge too. So she needed to just move on with that urge. So she was doing it with me. So the thing ruled me to the extent I was practicing it with my fellow children then. Yeah, we were all doing it. The landlord had a little girl that was around my age then. So we were actually doing it together. You will never caught me. That's it.
Mm.
Even if you decided to start tiptoeing your peep, you will never caught me. So actually I grew with that instinct. So if I see someone with the same instinct who wants to have sex and opposite sex, I will know.
Mm.
I will know that
So
this
you
one,
became sensitive
yeah,
to all
yes,
those
yes. I will know this
gestures.
one have something common with me.
Oh.
Yes. I will know this one is the spoilt one too. We can actually do this together. So then as time goes on, we went to the normally after when school resumed, we goes to the village where I was staying with my grandma, do farms together and all of that. So then my age mate then I was actually doing it with almost everybody. Then we do play now.
Plus the siblings of your uncle.
No, then
The children of your uncle that
the,
used to also go to stay with.
though that my uncle had 5 kids. I think just that bitch, that is the only girl and she's
Okay.
the eldest. So
Okay.
after holiday, me and my grandma do go back to the village. So when I get to the village, then we had some neighbors there, children. I was at least 2 years older than this girl. We were all doing it together.
Okay, I remember.
Those child playing our papa and mama. We were doing it. So around 2009, my cousin brother came from. I was having an outing. So then my mom last born. So I was that my cousin brother came. I was 1 year older than my cousin brother. We were all doing it together with those girls that was around though.
How I want to ask, how were you able to like lure them to do it with you? Like
I didn't yell them.
they
As I
want
said earlier,
okay.
they have the same instincts too to actually practice it.
Okay.
And they have the same instinct to actually practice it. You don't even need to learn anybody. Most of the times they even start it. They are the one that will even start it with you.
Hmm.
They are the one that will always start it with you because I always have this fear that you should be the one to start this. Mhm. So that you will not see I'm a bad
Yeah,
person
not that
or
fast.
something. So as time goes on, yeah, life was actually going well. So 20 January 2012, I came to Benin. I was staying with my step brother actually.
Hmm.
I was doing my stepbrother. When I say I'm the only child of my parents, was like I have other step siblings actually, but for my both parents, I'm the only child. So
Hmm. Okay.
while staying with my elder brother, they had this neighbor. It was a Roman Palo Self-Con, Roman Palo Self-Con. They had this neighbor. The neighbor had about three, maybe 4 kids. The two girls were like one was around 17, the other one was 14, technically. That one was 1 year older than me. So I was 1 year older than me. So one day I was sitting at the sitting room like this, sitting down. So somebody came to cover my eye from behind. Sometimes you try to check who that person is. So
Hmm.
I mistakenly touched her breast. I
Okay.
mistakenly touched her breast. When I thought she was smiling, not knowing, I already have this instinct of say, wow, that means she
Yes.
enjoyed she enjoyed she enjoyed it. So before you know, we were having sex together. She started it. I can just put my leg on the floor now. She will start using her leg to rub my leg. I was trying to avoid all miss. Want to actually practice it with her. But since that I've already been promiscuous about it, like this is who I am already, I started doing it with her. And we did that for
And
2012.
she like willingly.
She was willing, yeah. She was willing. We did all of that together. We were never caught one day.
For how long?
For like 2012, 13 to 14, for like 3 years.
Wow. There was never a time she got pregnant or anything.
No, there was never a time she got pregnant. My pull-out was 100%. Yeah. My pull-out was 100%. There was never a time she got pregnant.
Mm.
She never said to me, David, I'm pregnant. And that girl was that girl was very intelligent. She already knew about this medical stuff and all of that. I was just a village boy who knew nothing. I didn't know anything then.
Mm.
I didn't know anything then. So what actually transpired one day, there was this, we still have one neighbor, it was opposite us. That girl was around 8 years.
8.
Yes, this little girl was around 8 years. So I don't bab this girl. I never feel sexually aroused to my younger one. Never. No matter how matured or big you are. Never. If I'm 2 years older than you, there is no way. I don't go for younger ones. There is no way you will convince me.
So
Even if
so
yes,
once someone is younger than you don't
no,
feel
no, no,
triggered
no, not
towards
at
the
all,
person.
at
So it's
all.
just elder
Elder ones.
ladies.
So actually, I beat this. Normally, I beat this little girl. She do dress in our house. She was so close, like my neighbor's child. One day, my dad would have woke me up, beat me with belt. Said to me that let's go to my manager's house because the girl's name was Angel. Got in there. The mother said that Angel said to her that I put her pant. I was fingering her. I said, when, how? They beat me that night. My dad would have beat me that night. That was around past 12. I almost accept that I did it out of fear and everything. Got into the house. I was so traumatized. After like 2, 3 days, the girl came. She was telling my brother's wife that it was out of fear. So she was having pain there. So she told her mom. Her mom was asking her if anybody touched her or this thing. Based on my familiarity with her, my name was always frequent in her mouth. So she just when she mistakenly sealed Usemu, then all of a sudden, when my bros came, I said, see what I just said. My bros, no, your brother will never beg you. But they just move within state and just rest. That night, I swear, I made a cause, I made declaration, all manner of declaration. Then my brother traveled out. So me and my brother were not compatible. I went to stay with my stepfather at Sapele Road.
After that time, were you still sexually harassed?
No, but I was having this urge
Okay.
for sex always. When I was still with my stepfather, I had a girlfriend there.
Okay.
I had a girlfriend there. I went into a serious relationship. I'm a very free and nice person there. So there is no girl we behold, no matter how learned, educated, touchy, spiritual you are, you will always fall for me. I was no, I never felt then. There was nothing. There was nothing to write home about me. But I'm just this kind of person. I was so jovial and funny. I play with the people I love. So after dating that girl, I didn't have sex again with any other person.
Were you intimate with her?
I tried doing that with her actually. I tried doing that with her, but I found out then she was a virgin.
Mm.
On the way, let's have sex. Now she will just bust cry and start crying. So I was just okay, let's rest. Let's leave everything.
So after then, did you still engage in sex?
No,
And
after then I
did you
didn't
feel,
engage in sex actually.
how did you cope with it?
So just let me say prayer, but I will say prayer does not do everything.
So let's say, for example, now the urge came. What would you do?
The urge kill.
Yes.
Sometimes I leave the premises.
Mm.
And I was walking with fear of my pastor will know.
Mm.
Yes, you will know.
You were staying with him at the time.
Yes, I was staying with him at
And
that.
you used to like sense if
He will
someone
sense,
has
he will know.
Hmm.
If you start having feelings for a girl, Prophet Caleb will know.
I'll catch you.
He will know. If the moment you just come, you all laugh. Say senator. You normally call me senator then. Say senator.
But was he aware of the entire experience, your story, your sexual?
Not all, but few. Not all.
And how did he respond to the whole thing?
How did he?
How did he respond to your sexual story when you shared it with him?
I did not say that sexual aspect with him because I hate being judged. You get it? There are some people you explain your parts with, they'll just see you to be that kind of person. For me, I believe people does not change, people adjust. Can only make adjustment. Though even when I was praying, having sexual urge, even when I was praying back to back, God help me. God help me. I was even avoiding my opposite sex. But I found out that the more I avoid them, the more the sexual urge grows. So that came I was no longer avoiding them. I was just moving with them.
So now that you have overcome it, what are the steps you take to ensure that you don't go back to that whole experience?
Even when I was still with this pastor, I've overcome it for me. Even when I left Prophet Caleb now, something happened when I was staying with him. I was actually liking a girl from the Chorister stand. So I so much love that girl. Her name was NJ then. So I love this girl. Like we are having interaction always. We're not talking about sexual things. But I don't know how the prophet find out. But I knew this the finding out was not spiritual. Somebody went to go and tell this man because my intention were pure. Then so they went to go and tell this man. So they warned me, I was schooled for it. But I could not stop. I came again. So out of fear, the angel went to go and report herself to the prophet. Blessed no one rest to. No,
Apart from Pastor Caleb, was there anyone you opened up to confide in?
no, there was nobody.
Why?
I only have one female friend then that was close. Her name was Irene. That was the only person, but not everything I do tell Irene. I always keep things to myself. So whatever when I have issue bothering me, there's just people I discuss within myself. Yes, I discuss within myself. Like I'm discussing this issue now. More than 5 people with inside of me.
Inside of you, and
Yes.
you'll be hearing.
I will be hearing the voice. They will discuss it. They will give me options. They have been my comforter. You're like when you speak, who listen within you? Your people are within you that listen. When I stayed with Prophet Caleb now for 3 years, I didn't have sex. But when I left, there was a prayer I prayed one day. Thank God God does not answer all prayer. There was a prayer I prayed one day. I said, God, the day I will have sex, kill me. After I left, I actually had sex.
For the entire 3 years that you were staying with him,
Yes.
you did not.
I did not have sex. I was moving. Not that I could not, but I was moving with that fear that prophet will find out.
But the moment you left,
I had sex. That night.
what led to it?
Though it was, I always say people don't invite somebody for counseling. You get key. Want to counseling? Are you getting it?
Church setting.
It came to my house.
Okay.
But then the girl had issues. But already seeing the issues, I see. I see. Was I don't need to pray.
Just see.
The moment I ask, God will tell me to the depth of the matter. So we are discussing the issue. The girl started it. Oh God, I was explaining something. This girl not still emotional. This girl come on, be going. The girl dragged my shirt. That's how I felt. I had sex with this girl. That night. For like a year plus. I was finding it difficult to pray.
After that, did you now subsequently go into
No,
sex again?
I was so sexual.
Has the whole sexual experience you've been having affected your relationships with people?
It didn't affect my relationship with people apart from having sexual origin. So when I'm into a serious relationship, I don't feel for others. I don't get when I'm into a relationship with a person,
Okay.
I don't feel sexually aroused to others.
Only that only that
Only that
person.
person. Yes. What I found I was lacking companion, I was lacking friendship.
Hmm.
I actually dated a girl for a year. I never had sex with the girl.
So you're saying, let's say you just like when you're in a relationship with someone, your mind is fully invested in that
Yes.
person. You don't think of any other.
No, I
You
won't
don't
think of
have urges.
nothing like that.
Oh.
It was like that. It was like that. I was not having
So are you trying to say that what you were actually lacking was
a very close to me, a
companionship,
companion, yes.
and you never had a
I
friend
never had
during all
I
those
never
time?
had that kind of friend. Because most people will only judge you. The only person that I've never wanted to judge me was one of my female friends, then Irene. Irene never judged me. Irene never judged me. She was that girl, I can say, that girl was the best person I ever had in my life.
Hmm.
Irene never judged me.
So what advice will you give to people that have the same experience, or
For me,
they're
when you're talking
struggling with sexual urges that they cannot really
well,
control?
for me, one of the advice I will give you, there's one advice one of God gave me then. Sometimes a lot of us, not because we are sexually harassed, but sometimes that's how we are built. Some people have very high libido. So there's nothing, even prayer cannot stop it. That's how God created you. Sometimes we advise you get married early. Now we advise just get married early. But prayer cannot do it except discipline. You can actually say no to something, you will not die.
Hmm.
You can actually say no. A lot came. I met a lot of girls then. Even before sex, I will just look at the person. Especially if you have dirty skin, I will say no, no. I was the one choosing, not them choosing. Mm. But I will advise if you are going to a ministry, don't be too fast for saying you want to have counseling, you want to have spiritual daughters when you have not been dealt with like God.
Hmm.
Don't be too fast because girls are more attracted to ministers than those wayward boys you see like Froster, those young boys and all of that have cars. Girls are more attracted to ministers, church boys.
Hmm.
And all of those girls I was actually going out with or having sex with, they were all church girls.
Hmm.
Dedicated ones. The ones that have prayer life. People that can stay 6 hours and pray in tongues straight without resting. Because then they will just feel that what you both are doing is right, kind of, because you two are believers.
Hmm.
So we advise you don't go into, if you know you have a calling, you want to do the work of God, this one-on-one counseling, you want to counsel people, you want to manifest, you want to be on your own, it's never
Hmm.
profiting.
Okay, so before we let you go, how many people do you think you've had sex with? Let's say on an average.
Okay, should I start from my child? Oh,
Like entirely.
tired. Okay,
Yeah.
let me say probably around 8.
8.
Yeah, yeah, 8 or 9, if I'm not mistaken.
You seem to have really dealt with the whole experience well. Some persons, 8 is too small. So we've just heard from David, who has, been through a lot, especially in the area of sex and the whole sexual harassment and everything. This is an inspiring story for anyone out there that is going through sexual harassment or sexual struggles. You can do it. You can. You can. And of course, God is here to help you. So, for more stories like this, please do ensure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you soon.